Wolf of Fantasy Sports back with the DFS Wolfpack for the NFL Week 8, 9 games. Looking at the quarterback position. This is the first look. We're going to break this down. Tom Brady, Prescott, Wentz, all in the same price range. If you're paying up, these are the quarterbacks to look at. And I like Wentz out of the three versus San Francisco. We've seen what San Francisco has been giving up to the quarterback position, to the wide receivers, and to the running backs. So load up on Philly. I really like Wentz in the spot at home. Breeze, I'm off. Matt Ryan, I might fade for the rest of the season. Cam Newton, I like this spot for a bounce back. Derek Carr, don't mind him. Russell Wilson, don't mind that play. Watson, I'm off. I'm hoping he has a bad week so we could look at him in week 9. Cousins, don't mind this play versus Dallas. Won't have that much exposure. In this price range, I like Phillip Rivers versus New England. I'm hoping he comes in low owned. I hope people pay up for Cousins because Rivers, he could throw 300 plus yards here. He's got the weapons. He's got the wide receiver and the running back, pass catcher, Melvin Gordon. So I like this play. Winston, I'm off. Tyrod Taylor, price came up too much. I think he's got a floor of 10 and a ceiling of 20 in this matchup. If I'm paying low, under 6,000 for quarterback, it's gonna go with I'm gonna go with Andy Dalton, who just scored a touchdown. Or just threw a touchdown to somebody. Corey Clement. Okay, nobody's got him. So Andy Dalton. If I'm paying under 6,000, I really like this spot versus Indy, 5,700. Andy Dalton, pair him up with AJ Green, Mixon, Croft, Josh McCown, decent play. And that's that. Looking at the running back, you got Zeke, 9,200. In play versus Washington, rivalry game. Don't know if I'll be paying up for him this week. Coming off the monster 3 touchdowns he just had. I'm looking at LaShawn McCoy. Price is too high for my taste. I'm off that. I'm jumping off the train. I had a lot of exposure to him. Week 7, I got my 2 touchdowns out of him. Melvin Gordon, in play. Pair him up with Rivers. I like that. Mark Ingram, price is way too high for me in this matchup. No way. Freeman, I'm off. Howard, I'm off. Price is way too high, but this is a decent spot for him. McCaffrey, we just saw what McCoy was able to do versus Tampa. He's a pass-catching back. He should be able to do something. I could see him with 15 to 20 DraftKings points. Carlos Hyde, I'm off. Kamara, price is too high for me. Chris Thompson, in play, 5,800. Doug Martin, I'm off him. Off of Miller. I think Blunt's in play here. They might get out to a big lead. Blunt just eat up the clock, run the ball out, might get a couple goal line touches. Could get 1-2 touchdowns off that. So I like Blunt, 5,100. I think James White's in play versus Chargers. And down in this price range, Smallwood's in play. If San Fran could get the lead, if I was to think they could have the lead and Philly be trailing, then I like Smallwood. But you know what? In this price range, I'm not looking at Smallwood. I'm looking at Joe Mixon, 4,700. AJ Green, Dalton, Mixon. That makes a lot of sense to me versus Indianapolis. And that's as low as I'm going. Wide receiver. Looking at AJ Green, 8,600. Pair him up with Dalton. I like this play. Julio Jones versus the Jets. He's in play. I just don't know if I'll be paying up for him. I'd rather take AJ, take the targets. Mike Evans, Carolina. I'm off that. Des Bryant, I'm off. Michael Thomas, I'm off. Don't want Hopkins. Keenan Allen, in play versus New England. Baldwin, in play versus Houston. Somebody I'll be looking at. Cooks, someone in play. Definitely with Brady. Jeffrey, in play versus San Francisco, without a doubt. Pair him up with Ertz. Cooper versus going up against Buffalo at New Era Field. I could see him having a decent game here. I'm not sure who Tre'Davious White's going to be assigned with, but once I find that out, I'll determine how much exposure I have to Cooper. I might have him in 1 or 2. Looking to go to this game. Chris Hogan in play, bounce back. Benjamin, I'm off. Crabtree in play. Garcon versus Philly, I'm off that. Funches, I'm off. Well, you know what? Funches is in play. 5,900 versus Tampa. Funches is in play. Amendola, decent. T.Y., I'm off. Aguilar in play. Terrell Pryor, I'm watching the game right now. Philly versus Washington, and Pryor, I haven't even seen him on the field. So I'm completely off Pryor. Have no clue what's going on with this cat. Pretty soon his price is going to be in the 4,000. Fuller, I'm off this week. Jackson's somewhat in play. Kind of a punt. I don't really like it. But you know what? Yeah, Jackson's in the player pool, without a doubt. Terrell Williams, I really like this play at 4,800. I might have a lot. I might hit the lock button on Tyrell Gazelle. And you know I'm going to be posting them GIFs. Them gifts will be flooded on Twitter. Hit me up. DFS Wolfpack. Curse in play. Ted Ginn, I'm off this week. Crowder's decent at 4,300. Travis Benjamin's in play. Maybe Goodwin, 3,900. Always a punt. Doxson, getting some targets tonight. And there's a cat from Buffalo I want to bring up here. Had a really productive game. Look into him. He's real familiar with him and Tyrod. Go back to Baltimore. So once I find this cat, we're going to talk about him. What's his price? Okay, right here. Looking at Thompson. This dude was real productive. Only saw 4 targets, caught all 4 for 107. Deontay and Tyrod go back to the Baltimore days. And this could be a new playmaker for the Bills. They sign him in first game this week, 4 for 4, 107 yards. So keep an eye on that cat right there. That's going to be my value play today for wide receiver. I'm going to have him in a couple lineups. Looking at the tight end position, you got Gronk, 7,100. Always in play. It's just, can you afford him? Ertz for San Francisco, definitely in play, even though the OPRK might keep people off him, and the price is definitely going to keep people off him. When you're that close to Gronk, I don't think nobody going to play him this week. Safarian Jenkins, been productive, 4,900 in play. Hunter Henry, I really like this. Match him up, pair him up with Rivers. Jordan Reed, I'm completely off. I don't know what happened to this guy. He doesn't look the same. He didn't look that good last year. Jimmy Graham, someone in play versus Houston, but I'm off him. He drops the ball for me. I can't deal with it. Looking at Brate versus Carolina, someone in play. Witten could be in play here. I'm off Hooper. He don't get enough targets for me. Looking at Cook versus Buffalo, that could be a problem for Buffalo. So Jared Cook's in play here, without a doubt. 3,900. Kerry Kittle, or not Kerry Kittle. What am I thinking? George Kittle. Wow, basketball, way back. George Kittle, 3,600. I might take another shot on him, but not in my main tournament. No high dollar. I just might take another shot on him. Ed Dixon, someone in play. Doyle, nah. I'm going this low. Looking at O'Leary, Zach Miller, and Tyler Croft. Pair him up with Dalton. O.J. Howard, we saw what he did versus Buffalo. 2 touchdowns, had a big game. Low owned, real low owned. And that's about it. Looking at the defense, about to wrap this up. Quick first look video here. Looking at the defense. We got the Eagles, 3,800, most expensive defense on the board. I don't really care for that all that much. I mean, if you can pay up, yeah, but looking at the Bengals versus Indy, they've been quite solid. I'm off the Saints. I'm not touching the Saints defense. I've had way too much of them last week just because the rain and the weather. That even got me off Ginn. And then I jumped over to Decker because the cornerback was out for Cleveland. And he was getting targets. And man, it just messed up a lot of my lineups. I could have profited over $1,000 and I ended up barely breaking even. I ended up losing a little bit of money, like 30 bucks on week 7, just over that. Just watching the weather in New Orleans. Oh no, that game was in Green Bay. Watching the weather in Green Bay got me off of Ginn, and it put me onto the Saints defense, which was a huge mistake because I like the Chargers and I like Ginn. So we're talking about like a 40, 50 point swing that would have put me way into the profit instead of just missing cash line. So looking at these defenses here, Seahawks, somewhat in play, don't love it. So right here, it'd probably be Eagles, Bengals. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to have to pay up because the rest of these defenses are not good matchups. Yeah, I'm probably going to pay up, and I'm going to take Bengals or the Eagles. And right now it's looking like Eagles over the Bengals. So Eagles 1, Bengals 2, and that's what I'm looking at for defense this week. Unless something opens up, I'll put it on Twitter, who I like, before week 8 starts. Before Sunday morning, I'll have a new defense up there if I find it. So not sure on the value right now. Could be the Bucks, could be the Buccaneers. We'll see what happens. Good luck in week 8. I'll have another video with my lock plays of the week for NFL. DFS Wolfpack. If you want to join the league on DraftKings, FanDuel, drop your username in the YouTube comment section and let's get to this money. Good luck.